Hey guys, Tom here from Ultralight Gear, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the sleeping pads that we stock here. The three brands that we do are Thermarest, EXPED and NEMO. There's three types of sleeping pads to look for. There's the really lightweight ones with very little insulation that are perfect for summer. Then there's the all seasons, as some brands like to refer to them. And then there's the 4-season pads or the winter pads, the really insulated, super warm ones that are going to add a bit of weight. This video is going to focus on that middle range because I'd say about 80% of people are going to fall into that range where maybe there's a little bit of camping in cooler conditions down to 0, -2, but a lot of the time you're going to be using it throughout the year and you're not going to be doing any like extreme winter camping at -5 and below. So I've got three of them here. I've got the Thermarest NeoAir XLite NXT. I've got the EXPED Ultra 5R, and I've got the NEMO Tensor all season. The great thing about all three of these pads is that they all come with an inflatable pump sack. So this really just speeds up the process of putting air in the pads, and it also reduces the amount of moisture that gets in, reducing mold buildup, and allowing the pads to last a lot longer. When it comes to sleeping pads, there's 4 specific things that you want to look for. The first one is the most obvious, and it's thickness. So the thicker the pad, generally speaking, the more comfortable it'll be, the further off the ground you'll be, the less chance there is of bottoming out and of having that cool air coming through from underneath. The next thing to look out for is baffle design. So there's 3 types. There's the cross baffles, which just run straight across the pad. And these are generally the most durable, but also the simplest and sometimes leave a bit to be desired comfort-wise. Then there's the vertical baffles, which are a little bit less durable, generally a little bit more comfortable. And then there's the baffles that go in 2 directions, across and down. And this is generally the most comfortable as it allows for really even weight distribution. The next thing to look out for is R value. Now this is a measure of thermal efficiency. So basically how much of the cool air is going to be coming through from the ground and getting to you sleeping above it. The final thing to look out for is the fabric. So all 3 of these pads are made from nylon. And nylon is measured in denier in terms of how thick and durable it's going to be. So the higher the number, the more durable it's going to be, but also kind of the harder, the more plasticky it's going to feel on the skin. So you're trying to balance good durability with good feel when you're lying on it. Let's talk through the 3 pads that we have here. So as I said, we've got the NEMO Tensor all season, the Thermarest NeoAir XLite, and the EXPED Ultra 5R. So these all are in that kind of 3-season range. They're all quite warm for their weight. They're all quite light. They're going to be good kind of anything down to that 0, low minus degrees, unless you're a really cold sleeper. So first up, we have the NEMO Tensor all season. This is actually the warmest pad we have here. So this one has an R value of 5.4. It's got baffles that go across and down. So in terms of, dispersing your body weight when you're sleeping on it and comfort, this one is probably the pick of the bunch. In terms of price, this one sits in the middle at about $370, depending on which size you go for. So this one's got a 40 denier nylon on the back and a 20 denier nylon on the front. So that's going to be a really good mix of not feeling too, plasticky and hard when you're sleeping on it, but also being quite durable and not going to be too easy to puncture. So the NEMO Tensor all season has a claimed thickness of 8.8 centimeters, which is the thickest of the bunch, at least on paper. Next up, I'm going to move on to the Thermarest NeoAir XLite. So in terms of baffles, you can see this one has the cross baffles. So this one's going to be particularly durable, but probably not quite as comfortable as the NEMO that we were just looking at. In terms of R value, this one comes in at 4.5, so a little bit lower, but still pretty respectable and is going to keep you warm, again, down to around that 0 degrees. In fact, a lot of people actually rave about Thermarest sleeping a lot warmer than their R value suggests. We had the NEMO at a 40 on the back and 20 on the front. This one split the difference. It's a 30 denier all around. So, maybe not quite as durable on the bottom, but a little bit more durable on top. A little bit harder, not quite as nice feeling on top. But again, a bit of a sacrifice for durability. In terms of weight, this one comes in at 383 grams and costs about $500. In terms of thickness, the Thermarest comes in the middle there as well, so 7.7 centimeters thick. So moving on to the XPED, this one sits in the middle in terms of R value at 4.8. So it's going to be a little bit warmer than the Thermarest, but not quite as warm as the Tensor All Season. This one is actually the thinnest at 7 centimeters, although it doesn't look it from the side because the side baffles are a little bit thicker to keep you planted in the middle while you're sleeping. The fabric on this one is 20 denier all round. So again, you're going to get that nice soft feeling of the NEMO with a little bit less durability as a sacrifice for that. This one's going to be the heaviest at 447 grams, but it's also going to come in at the cheapest, around $300. So in terms of packed size, you can see that the XPED is going to be the biggest. The NEMO is shorter and a bit narrower, and then the Thermarest is a bit shorter again, but a bit wider. Okay, so you've got all the information now, but which one should you go for? That's really up to you. But on paper, I'd say the Tensor All Season is going to be the best of the three. It's got a super high R value. It comes in the middle in terms of weight and price. It's really just an awesome all-round pad that can do anything. The Thermarest NeoAir XLite is going to be a little bit lighter, a fair bit more expensive. But you know, if you really value that long-standing reputation that Thermarest has, or you really care about weight, then the NeoAir might be the pad for you. And the XPED kind of does everything really well, maybe not quite as well as the other two, but comes in a fair bit cheaper. So might be a better pad if you're super budget conscious, but you can't really go wrong with any of these pads. Comfort is really subjective when it comes to sleeping pads. So we do have a bunch of these pads blown up in store if you want to come in and try them for yourself. Okay, a bit of a bonus for you as well. So you've bought one of these all-season sleeping pads, and you've actually got really into camping, decided that you do want to try some winter trips. You don't want to fork out, you know, another $300 to $500 on a winter pad. You can get yourself one of these. A number of different brands make these foam pads. This one's by NEMO, but we've also got Mont ones, XPED ones, you name it. And this is just a foam pad that folds out and adds between 1.5 to 2.2 R value. So a bit of extra warmth, a lot of extra versatility in terms of where you can set up your pad, and a bit of extra protection from any punctures or anything coming through from underneath. So this is a great option if you do want to use one of these pads in cooler conditions.